This video is basically how to start an Autodesk Inventor sheet metal. We're going to be covering sheet metal parts specifically. To start directly a drawing, we have this menu where we can pick new, open, save, or the last recent documents. Also in Autodesk Inventor you have these palettes here, which you're gonna navigate. You can navigate like this. Now, to go directly to open a drawing, there is a shortcut here, either for assembly, drawing, part, or presentation. We're going to be covering what this each of these means and how to utilize it. But first, we want to concentrate on part. When you click on part, there is a menu. It's a shortcut to come directly to the part, but there is different types of parts in Autodesk Inventor. But to have a different part, like a sheet metal part, we would have to go to new and create a new. And now here we're going to specifically ask what kind of part do we need. Do we need a sheet metal part, or do we need a standard part? We're going to be covering first of all the sheet metal part. By default is an English system. There's also metric, English, and mold design. That's for plastic design. But we are interested specifically in this video on sheet metal .ipt. IPT means inventor part. That is the extension used for a sheet metal part or a standard part, which is right here, standard.ipt or sheet metal.ipt. We'll see the difference between these two. For the moment, we want to click on sheet metal, go directly to that, and open. By default is in inches because it's that's how it was set up in the beginning. Now to start drawing something in Autodesk Inventor, we're going to utilize a sketch. We always, every time we open a new part or a new sheet metal IPT, we're taken to this palette, sketch. Now you can navigate in the different ones, but you can notice that only the grading button here is the one that is highlighted because that's the active window right now. There's a finish sketch button right here. Now we're going to create a simple sheet metal part, a tabletop sheet metal. We can click from there and you can see how the rubber band takes us to different places. There's dynamic input. For example, right now that box that's highlighted, we can directly input, for example, 40 inches, enter, it goes to the next box. Now we need to input before we press enter. Now there is another tool here that we can utilize. While we are in sketch mode, we rather sketch in 2D than in 3D, but you could do 3D if you desire. Let's do that again, that sketch. Gonna start the sketch. We're not gonna press enter, we're just gonna press 40. Tab. It goes to, when you press tab, it goes to the next box, which you can press directly. This is called dynamic input. And 30, and then enter. So that way we can, without having to go back and utilize this tool, dimension tool, to dimension the box, we can dynamically input the information. Once we have a sketch, we want 30 inches in width, 40 inches in length, we click sketch. Now we want to create now this tool, a face in sheet metal. This is the tool that we use to create faces. Notice how the extrusion of the sheet metal face is going towards the upper side, but you could change that by clicking offset. It goes back or it comes back. In sheet metal specifically, if you want this to be the paper side, it needs to come towards you or towards the paper side. This would be the paper side. Now if you offset it, the other side, which is this side, will be the paper side. But we don't want that. We want this, the top, the front part, to be the paper side. We could see that little arrow pointing towards us. We apply it, and now we've created a sheet metal. We hit cancel because we already finished with that. There is another tool here, flange tool. We're going to be using this flange tool. We're going to change here 2 inches distance. You could select distance or 2. We're going to cover that later, but for the moment we're going to just use distance. Notice how you can click that one edge, or you can select a loop select mode. Now if we go here and select, instead of that, a loop, you can select that loop, and now notice how everything is selected. Now when you make a sheet metal part, you have this little close corner tools or commands here that you can use. Now we want to notice something when we use a flange command. Notice how the sheet metal, you can see a preview of that sheet metal. It's giving you the band inside of the material. There's another one that you could do inside. I'm sorry, this was the first one was OD, which is outside the material. It means that when you actually measure these, it's going to be exactly outside the thickness, 40 by 30. But you can change that. That's what we want right now, but just to navigate around these tools, we could do that outside the material or at the or starting. Notice how the actual radius starts right there at the end of the material. We want to keep it at the end of the material. Also, you have another one here that you could do this. You could do the measurement, the 2 inches to measure from where? From outside of the band, that will be 2 inches, or from inside the band. But this one would be the height datum. We apply to OK, but then we have this corners open there. Well, to get rid of those, we want to go back and edit this. We didn't do it the first time because I want to show. Actually, the tools can be moved. Right here in the tree, it tells us everything we've done. Every part has a plane. Notice where our planes are. We have axis, default axis of every part has to have these 6 components: YZ, XZ, XY, and so forth. Now, right here after that, we created a face. But how? Well, with a sketch, you can click on it and it'll highlight that sketch, and then we created a flange. The corner tool is another tool that we're gonna edit right now. You could right click on that and edit the feature. It goes back to an edit mode. On the corner, we want these corners to be tier, and we apply that, but we still have a big gap. Now you can click also. It's got a dynamic input to edit stuff here. If you click on the flange, it'll have a menu like this. It's gonna tell you want to edit the flange, you want to edit the sketch, the original sketch, or you want to create a sketch on that face. Well, we want to edit that. And on the corner, we're going to tell it the gap size will be 0.001, which virtually will be nothing by the tolerance that we're working on. Now notice how that closes really nice. And basically that's how you create a part, a sheet metal part, and we can keep on adding more stuff to it. This is the simplest part that we can do. Now we want to save this. Let's create a folder, a new folder there, and we'll color sheet metal parts. We accept. We go into that folder, and we're gonna call it test part 1 top. And we save, and that's part saved. So this ends the video of how to make a sheet metal part.